Man, is that not the longest damn intro I think I've ever had? I think it's like 2 hours damn long. Hey guys, welcome to the show this evening. This is Terry with Nspstv Paranormal Podcast, and man, it's going to be an interesting tonight. Tonight I got old time paranormal out of Augusta, Georgia. So hey guys, man, feel free to jump in the chat and say hello to everybody that I have on the show tonight. Uh, but with that said, I like to say hello to everybody that are watching me tonight. All you guys that are on the platforms, man. All you guys that are on Kick, Rumble, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook Paranormal page, and my personal Facebook page. Welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But with enough said, guys, I'm going to shoot it over to Old Time Paranormal and let them introduce themselves to you. All right, the floor is all yours, guys.
Hello, everyone. I'm the Vice President of Old Time Paranormal, Billy. This is my sister, Amber.
Hi, how are y'all?
Hey. All right. Hey, but you know what, man? Long story. I'm just going to do what I do right quick before we jump into it. Man, today was a very interesting day for me. You know, I do the typical get up, shower, shave my bald head, and just go out and see what the world has for me. And I went to a cemetery today that I passed through. I've say about a million times. So I decided to turn in and take the camera out and I start recording and just went through cemetery and just talk to people. Even though I don't hear them talking to me, they probably say hello or whatever. But the one thing I've noticed about cemeteries is the downkeep of them these days. The downkeep, people aren't taking care of cemeteries like they used to in the old days. You don't see trash. You don't see stuff that shouldn't be there on the side of the fence. It seems like that's becoming a norm for city owned cemeteries. I'm not saying that because I think the state does does things a little bit different, but city owned cemeteries, I really don't think they're putting the time and the effort and the money into the upkeep of these locations, and it's kind of disturbing me a little bit. I actually seen a Christmas tree, I think, in on the left hand side. I'm not sure what that was, but it won't hurt to an hour, or the city's time to go in there, just pick up, you don't have to cut the grass, but man, do a quick weed eater and make everything presentable. But it seems like it's just going left. I mean, it might be just me because I'm just picky on certain things, but it's really hard, man, because I know one day I'm going to be where these guys are, and I don't want my headstone and my grave with a bunch of weeds and a bunch of trash, or the whole cemetery as a whole. So it's something that I think we need to address and make sure this get done right. But enough of my venting of today. Let's get back to old time paranormal. Hey guys, how you doing? What's going on in Augusta? And how's the paranormal life treating you?
We're doing well. I completely agree with you with the downkeep on the cemeteries. We have that issue here, and that's something that the team has been discussing doing is trying to partner with some of the more historic cemeteries in the area
Hmm.
to offer uh, a, a trade, us coming in and cleaning up a few times a month or a quarter or something like that in exchange for us having access to some of these historic cemeteries to do lock-ins at night, to do overnight
Hmm.
investigations. Um, the team I was on previously, we did an overnight investigation at one of the historic cemeteries on Halloween night a few years ago because the previous Halloween they had people breaking into the cemetery trying to dig up bodies.
Oh my
So
God.
basically, we were there to do security, but we were allowed to do an investigation at the same time.
Man, that's why do people do things like that? I don't understand. And believe it or not, me personally, I think it's the younger generation because I don't think anybody of age would stoop that low to do something like that. You know, I
I mean,
can't put nothing past these kids today.
I don't know. Augusta, unfortunately, we have a rich history of grave robbing, mainly due to the Medical College of Georgia. It
Hmm.
was originally, well, it's still located here in Augusta, but back in the day, it was illegal for the medical students to work on cadavers and everything. So the medical college hired a former slave named Granderson Harris and taught him how to read, taught him how to write. That way he could go through the newspaper at the time, looking at the obituaries to see who was fresh dead, and he would go and
Hmm.
dig them up and bring the bodies into the basement of the old medical college. And back in the 90s, they were doing some renovations at the medical college and found the skeletal remains of over 600 cadavers in the basement.
I think it ended up
Oh
being like
wow,
650.
So we've got a rich history of grave robbing, unfortunately.
that is
But
unbelievable.
yeah,
I
it's
mean, that's
definitely
crazy. I can't,
adds to the
man. I can't even imagine.
activity.
All right, hey guys, you know, feel free, get comfortable. You know, I'm gonna ask you guys or a bunch of questions, man. Just go with the flow. The first question is that I have for you guys, and I'm pretty sure you've heard this a million times. Uh, what made you guys want to invest? I mean, spend so much time and money, invest in such a dangerous profession as being a paranormal investigator.
I think it just boils down to always having an interest in the paranormal, having different experiences growing up. The house that we both grew up in, because Amber's my sister, uh, is a haunted house to this day. Amber still
I
lives
Yes, I
there.
bought the it was originally our grandmother's house, and a few years ago I bought it from her. So now me, my husband, and my son live there, and we still have activity on a regular occurrence, if not daily. We see there's a spirit that likes to walk through our kitchen, and
Hmm.
I've seen him. My husband's seen him. Even when my niece was, she's 3 now. When she was just starting to learn to like wave at people and stuff, I watched her watch something walk through my kitchen and wave and say hello to it. And so it's definitely something that's been there for as long as I can remember and as long as he can remember.
Right.
Interesting. Okay, quick question about the house. Is it how far back does it go in your lineage? I mean, great.
It was my grandparents' house. They moved to the area with the military in the 70s, uh, late 70s, early 80s. And the house has been in the family since. But I mean, the house itself isn't even all that old. I believe the house was built in the 50s.
Mm,
So I don't think it's so much tied to the house as possibly to the land.
yes. Is Grandma still around? Is she still?
She's
Oh,
still
She's
kicking.
Yep, and
so
she's had her own experiences and stuff too in the home. She's seen the entity that likes to walk through the kitchen. She's heard voices and stuff. Another thing that we've had happen is when you're on the back end of the house, like towards the master bedroom and stuff. That's where all the bedrooms are. We hear footsteps in the attic a lot, and it's crazy because our attic's not even tall enough to stand up into.
Right.
So to be hearing footsteps, you can hear them walk back and forth, and it's like there's not even any room to walk up there. So
Wow. It seems like we got a situation. Hey, you guys need me to come check that out for y'all?
You're more than welcome to.
I mean, I'm up for a road trip. I am up for a road trip big time. You know what, guys? Have you, and when you guys investigate that your house, is it possible that because you said it might not be tied to your family, it might not be family members there, but it might be something that might be tied to the property. Now, are you sure there's nothing there that's not tied to your family?
We're not 100% certain. I mean, there's only been two family members that have passed in the house, and that's my great grandmother and my grandfather that have passed in the house. But as far as we know, that's the only deaths in the house.
and we've had activity before their passing as well. So my grandfather was aware of the like I said he likes to walk through the kitchen. We call him Bob, but we don't have any way of knowing that that's what his name is or anything.
Hmm.
Um,
We just wanted to give him a name so it'd be easy to communicate. Oh, I just saw Bob in the kitchen, and
Well, the weirdest thing is when your daughter waved at him. When you told me that, I mean, I kind of had a sign of relief because it's nothing scary.
no, no. That entity we've never had any issues with. Um, but it's there has been something there that has growled at Amber, and multiple people have heard that in one instance, all at the same time.
Hmm.
But we're not
Interesting.
quite sure what that is.
and there haven't been many occurrences of anything like that. I know of once or twice that it growled at me, and I'm honestly not certain what even provoked it. One day, I was sitting talking with one of his friends was at the house, and um, we were just sitting there having a conversation, and we both heard it growl. And my husband he works from home, but he was in a totally different room, so we knew it wasn't him. And
Hmm.
then I think you just gotten home from work, so you were asleep.
Right.
So there was nothing else that it could be. She was sitting facing me, and the growl came from behind me. So there was nobody behind me, but we both heard it.
Well, I'll be honest with you guys. Hey man, I get if dinner's not cooked, I'm gonna growl at you too, cause I want dinner cooked. You gotta, throw something out there. I mean, man, come on, man. Hey, I guarantee you, I'm gonna throw this at you guys. You leave some cookies and milk on the table, I'm pretty sure your growling will go away. You know, uh, you have to, you know, leave something there for these guys to eat. You know what I'm saying? I bet you all that will stop. All that
I
leftover
mean,
food you got in the refrigerator, it'll stop.
there's
You
always
know?
Debbie cakes and stuff available. So
Yeah, man. I mean, take care of these guys because you never know. They might be
right.
family members that like you said, it might be your great great grandmother, I mean grandfather, or somebody's that tied to you guys, or is it possible that you guys had an attachment and you brought them in the house and you didn't even know? I mean, there's a lot that you guys
Yeah.
will have to go by. Never
Yeah.
know. I mean, it might not
There's
be
some
from you guys, or it might be from somebody else. I mean, it's
I mean, it
weird.
might be an item in the house that got brought in. There's
Oh yeah,
so many variables it could be. It's really hard to narrow down, but
yes sir.
it
Because
doesn't
I
really bother us. So
okay,
it's
well,
not one of those things we're trying to figure out so we can figure out a way to get rid of it.
Do you want to get rid of it?
Not really. I mean, he doesn't bother us. He kind of makes his rounds. He'll walk through the kitchen one direction and then walk back through the other way, and even my dogs don't react to it anymore. I mean, they'll look up when they see him, but they don't bark or growl. So if they're not bothered, I'm not
Interesting.
bothered.
Okay, guys. Hey, guys, let me ask you a question. All the experience that you guys been through as paranormal investigators, all the things that you guys have seen, why do you think people or individuals are flocking to do what we do without any without any training? They think they could just go pick up a camera and just do what they do. And one thing about people, they don't understand that this is a very dangerous job that we do. People
I think a
can
big
get
part of
hurt.
right the TV shows and stuff that glorify it. I mean, there's so many. You've got Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters. There's so many different paranormal that they just see this what's often faked, and they just want to get a thrill out of it.
Right.
And it's a lot of it they don't believe that they don't realize that it's staged, because you're not going to find something like they find on every investigation you go on. We've been on so
Hmm.
many investigations and not gotten anything. So I think that it's just a thrill seek, and they're not actually looking for, you know, the real fact that they may very well not find anything.
Hmm. Now, if you is it? I mean, okay. Would it be possible that at some point in a in an investigator's service as being a paranormal investigator, is it possible that we can call them investigators? Because when you're starting out in this field, you're not really investigating. You're more of a ghost hunter because that's what you're looking for. Now, because only reason why I said that is because number one, you're not learning anything. Number two, you're not researching anything. Number three, you're just going into any location. So, is it possible that people that are just starting out should be just called ghost hunters instead of paranormal investigators? Because to me personally, I just think there's a level a level between the two.
Mhm.
Right. Absolutely. And like we just have a new full fledged member that joined the team and got the official title as a team member. Whenever we have somebody that's wanting to come out and see about joining up with the team and everything, we put them on a probationary status to see how well they mesh with the team, for one, and to see how open they are to learning new investigative techniques, what investigative techniques they may bring to the team and everything, and their openness and everything. But at the same time, with the title paranormal investigator, I don't want to just go out and investigate haunted houses. Uh, a couple of the team members, myself included, are members of MUFON, so we want to investigate UFO sightings, close encounters. We're open to investigating
Cryptid
cryptids
sightings.
and in the cryptozoology and everything. And even when we don't have a whole lot going on, maybe even do a few urban legends like Bloody Mary.
Interesting. Hey, you know what? I think, and I'm just being honest with you guys. I think more teams should uh, think and be like you guys instead of being one dimensional. If you one dimensional, your mind is gonna set in that one way.
Right.
And I always tell people, dude, when you are a paranormal investigator, a paranormal investigator, it's like a box, And I was talking to one of my members last night about that box. And there's a center point in the middle of that box. Everything draws a line to the center of the box. Paranormal investigator, ufologists, Bigfoot hunters, cryptozoologists, and all that goes to the center of the box, and it completes itself as one. Because me personally, I might be wrong, but is it possible that we can't have one without the other?
I don't know that you can't have one without the other because the paranormal is such an unknown, and I mean, every paranormal investigator and ghost hunter ultimate goal is that verifiable proof, undeniable proof of the other side. But we don't know that Bigfoot and UFOs aren't tied together, and that's quarterbacking off of ghosts. We don't know the interconnections and everything because it's not a thoroughly enough researched field.
Mm, okay. Now, I'm glad you brought that up. Uh, this question is, it'll probably make you think for a minute. Now, I usually don't ask this question till later on into the podcast, but I'm gonna ask you guys now. Uh, if someone came to you, grab you guys by the hand, and say, "Hey, come with me. I'm gonna show you and tell you guys everything you need to know about the paranormal field, the ins and outs, talk to you guys and tell you guys, hey, yes, there is life after death. This happens, that happens. And after all that's said and done, he's going to bring you to a place and he's going to ask you guys, will you guys, after knowing everything, will you guys still continue doing what you do? Even though you know everything now, would you still continue doing what you guys do as paranormal investigators?
Absolutely, I would, just because it's a passion for me. One, as paranormal investigators, we get access to so many historic sites that most people wouldn't even think about trying to get in as exclusive access. Uh, and I love the history side of it as well. So that's one big plus for one reason I'd continue doing it. And another is there's always changes and uh, investigative techniques evolve and everything. And I mean, we know so much about the solar system and everything, but NASA's still researching it. We got private companies trying to go to space now. There's always something new to learn. There's always going to be
Mm-hmm.
something else.
Right, right. No, okay, let's. You mentioned that you guys like to research and investigate strange phenomenon in the skies. I mean, ufology. It's a big topic this day and age. Now, when I was on TV, and I just want to ask you guys this, I'm not trying to get political or anything like that, but the incoming president, which is Donald J. Trump, said said on live TV that he will release certain information about UFOs. Do you guys believe that?
To a degree, I do, because there's been so many cases that have been leaked and everything through WikiLeaks and stuff like that of presidents trying to get access to that information, and whatever agency they're trying to get that information from tells them, look, it's a need to know thing and you don't have a need to know. But also at the same time, I think that disclosure is going to come in little bites, like it's coming out now like with the Nimitz Tic Tac videos and everything. It's going to come out in little bites like that, make it easy for the world to digest. And they're not
Hmm.
going to just vomit it all in our laps and say, here, deal with that now.
Now, do you think that the world is ready for such information? I
I
mean,
think so.
because it's it's easier for a man to digest it and say okay, but it's a little different when the human race gets involved in it because we all know humans are not the type of people that exactly like change. You know,
Right,
humans are stuck in their own little box. You know, they are used to certain things. But people are willing to accept things for what they are. You know,
right.
do you think that humans are ready for that? I know man is, but I don't know if humans are. If that make any sense to you guys?
It does. And I think that as a global society, that we're so exposed and conditioned to it via different formats, be it through movies or podcasts or books, that I think that the world would be open minded enough to accept it, especially when it's doled out in small bites and everything like it's currently being.
Hmm. Now, what would you say, or how do you think the world would react if they just show up on the white lawn? They just, doop. Do you think it'd be mass hysteria, or do you think it
I
would be? I mean, how would you think that whole scenario would play out?
I think that it would be a brief mass hysteria until communication had been established, and as long as everything was communicated openly to the public, that uh, things would settle down really quick, and we would be able to listen to what they have to say, and we may not accept it. Like you said, humankind is resistant to change. We're creatures of habit, but at the same time, I believe that most of the world realizes that we have to change, we have to evolve our way of thinking in order to progress technologically, scientifically, and
Hmm.
culturally. Unfortunately, uh, culturally, we're still not very accepting of other cultures and other backgrounds and stuff like that. And I hate to see that in the news and everything, but there's only one way to progress, and that's to learn from our past.
Past has a lot to do with our future. I mean, because the reason why I say that is our planet is a lot older than what history books are saying. Uh, you know, civilizations have come and gone. You know, is it possible that we are learning from our past, or is it possible that our past is going to repeat itself?
I would like to think that we're learning from our past, but at the same time, with all the cancel culture and everything that's going on in this day of it in age, where we want to hide our dirty little secrets instead of learn from them, and I worry about that. But
Hmm.
I know
Interesting.
me as a father, I see myself teaching my daughter what happened and everything, why things happen, and how society learned and evolved from it, and what effect that has on us as a global community today.
Mm. And the biggest question that I have for you guys, and this is the one that disturbs me the most, as a planet of how many billions of people? I'm just going to throw a number at that. 30 billion people. Did you know that if we take two people from each nation, sit them down at a very long table, and try to put our differences aside for the greater, for the greater good, I, I really don't think that can be done.
Currently,
So
I don't think so.
I don't think it can be done. I can't see Palestinians sitting with people from Israel. I can't
Right,
see people from uh, uh, you know Iran sitting with people from Iraq because of what they had. So the thing is, if we can't several, put our differences aside as one big planet, united, how in the hell are we going to accept somebody from outside our world we don't know nothing about? Automatically, as human beings, our thing is not to, it's not to learn. So if I see you and if I don't like the way that you are, naturally, I'm going to hate you. I'm going to dislike you. And to me, I think that's going to be the downfall of this civilization as a whole because we're not willing to sit down and understand and educate on things that we don't know nothing about.
right.
And it's really hard and it's really stressful. And I'm really hoping that our culture as human beings, we can come to realize that. And and mind you, I do know everything that glitters isn't gold, but it's got to be a starting point somewhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think, because whoever's on the outside of this world right now is way past the petty shit that we're going through right there on this planet. Been there, done that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And
So,
I think that's one reason that we haven't had them land on the White House lawn is because they see what a warring species that we are and everything, and they're so far beyond that that they don't want to get mixed up in the middle of our bullshit.
exactly. And you know what? And to be honest with you, I think people that have, seen Bigfoot and they've come in contact with Bigfoot, and you know what? I think Bigfoot is past that stage in their evolution also. They don't
I
want
do as well.
nothing to do with humans. Because if they wanted to, they would have interact with us already.
Right.
I'm not saying that they haven't, but if you intrude on their property, they're going to do on their land. They're going to do what anybody else would do. They're going to protect it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
As
But it,
every picture or video evidence, real or not, of Bigfoot that we've seen, Bigfoot's always doing the same thing. He's moving away.
hey man, I've seen Bigfoot, and I got kind of jealous because I saw him eating some zingers and drinking a Sprite, and I'm like, hey man, you got to be able to share these things with me. And you know what? And he just keeps walking, minding his own business, not a care in the world. But the minute you intrude on his territory, that's when the hostile intent becomes. Just like me or you had somebody that comes into our house, onto our property, we would do the same thing. Protect the family, especially if you're an alpha. And
Right.
that's all I see, and it's crazy because all this is so basic, so simple, but the politicians make it so hard for them. I mean, dude, come on, man. You do this, you do that. One, two, or three. It's not that hard. It's
Right.
really not.
And I mean, especially with the election that just passed, looking at a lot of the advertisements and stuff of trying to garner votes and everything, they weren't standing on any platform other than don't vote for this person because of this, and they weren't projecting what they wanted to do. It's just all smear campaigns against the opponent.
And at the end of the day, I really don't trust none of them. But the
No,
thing is, guys, we need to prepare ourselves for the what ifs
absolutely.
because the what ifs is what scares me the most. I always tell people, and you might have told kids like this, man, it's not the dark that you should be afraid of. It's what's in the dark you should be afraid of. And what's in the dark scares me the most because it's unknown. I know what the darkness is. I'm pretty
Right.
familiar with that. But it's what's in the dark that petrifies me the most.
Absolutely.
Because if I can't see it, I can't prepare myself for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And
So,
a prime example of that is something I encountered in the course of an investigation at one of the historic theaters here in Augusta, the Miller Theater. And I was doing a EVP session up underneath the stage. It's pitch black, can't see your hand in front of your face or anything. And this is the only time that I've ever ran from anything during an investigation. I had a figure that was blacker than the blackness around me rush me and chase me up the stairs out from underneath the stage. It's not the darkness that I'm afraid of. It's not the confined spaces or anything. It's what's that can get to me in that darkness and in that small space.
yes, sir. And I've always tell people that, dude. I'm not afraid of anything that I can see. It's what I
Right.
can't see because my mind can't. If I can't see it, my mind can't comprehend to what it's seeing. So my mind is not going to react to what I'm seeing. It, I mean,
Right.
eventually it will process it and it will tell my body, hey, either to run, to jump, to skip, or whatever. But until that happens, it could be too late. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah, man, the discussion is going great. Hey, I mean, we're clicking on all levels. I really appreciate that. But I'm going to change it up for a little bit.
Okay.
You guys, just like me, are smack down in the Bible Belt. No ifs and buts about it. There's churches
Right.
on every corner. Just like, well, I don't have churches on every corner here in Texas, but there are a lot of churches here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've spent quite a bit of time in Texas. My day
You
job
know,
for 12 years was an over the road truck driver.
oh well, man. Hey, that's why we get along. Cause I used to be, well, that OTR, man. Hey, that's what I used to do. I I, I
Oh yeah.
retired from that, and now I'm Cadillacing. If you ever seen a Fleetwood Cadillac just cruise, that's what I'm doing right now. But guys, with the way religion has gone for thousands of years, and the way the scientific community is building itself up, do you guys think that the scientific community has passed the religion aspect of what we think and what they think about certain things and certain religions? What do you guys think about that?
I don't know that one or the other will ever surpass the other, mainly because you got such staunch believers that have such faith with either way and are going to argue to the death on either topic. I really don't know unless in doing what we do, we have that definitive, undisputable proof
Hmm.
that there's going to be a medium ground for uh, the two to be able to stand at the same table and have a conversation that is meaningful. I know I was raised in the Catholic Church, um, and I went and visited the childhood church that I grew up in because I always had strange feelings there, and talked to the priest that was there at the time and said, "Hey, I grew up in this church. I've always had these strange feelings. I'm a paranormal investigator now. I would like to see about coming in and doing an investigation." And I had the priest look at me and said, "I'm sorry, son, but we don't believe in ghosts."
Mm.
And my immediate response, and being half serious with the question, was, "Well, what about the Holy Ghost?" And I was just asked to leave at that point.
See, you put him on the spot at that time.
Right.
You put him on the spot. Now, is it possible, Billy, that? Oh no, you know what? You've been too quiet, Amber. You just sitting back, chilling. I'm going to direct this question to you. Is it possible that two entities, we can have a congregation from the religion aspect of that, and we can have a group of parapsychologists come in, sit at the table without a moderator and just sit down and talk without any one of those guys getting upset and leaving? Do you think they will actually come to an understanding that it may be true that something is going on out here?
I think a big part of it just kind of depends on how deep in their beliefs they are and whether or not they're closed minded or open minded. Because I've met Christians that just swear up and down that what we do is evil, and any kind of spirits that we encounter are evil, and their God wouldn't do this. But like our mom is on our team, she's a devout Christian, but she's a full believer that there's other stuff out there. She can get behind the scientific aspect of stuff and still have her religion. So I really do think that it just depends on how open minded each side can be. Because if you're so dead set on, one or the other, then you're never going to have any kind of middle ground. But well, each person
Exactly.
has to be able to give on each side.
So I don't have to shackle anybody to their chair so they won't get up and swing at the other person. Because the conversation gets heated.
It
It gets
does.
really heated. But yet, and there's a reason why I don't think any of these two individuals, the religion aspect and the paranormal aspect or the parapsychology is, I don't think unless they find a common ground, I don't think any one of them will be asked to sit down at the scientific community's roundtable.
Right. Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where we have to come together and figure this out as a whole. And once that, you see, but the only thing I'm afraid of, or I think that the religious aspect of it, what they're afraid of, everything that they tried to prove in the Bible will be wrong. So we're talking about thousands of years of preaching, educating about the Bible, and find out that it's all false.
Right. And Like I said, I grew up in the Catholic Church. I think that is a a part of my issue with religion that I have now. I was agnostic for many years. I felt there was a higher power. I just wasn't quite sure what it was. And I tried to educate myself on numerous different religions and to waiting to find something that resonated with me. So, in doing that, trying to learn about the different religions and everything, so many religions are so similar, but we fight wars over uh, different beliefs and everything. One of my favorite uh, instances for this is Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. It's all the same God. It's just different messengers. So it's like
Right.
we all agree that Domino's has the best pizza, but we're going to go to war over who the best delivery driver is.
Hey, I like the way you put that. That is freaking awesome. I like the way you did that. I mean, yeah, how you said it couldn't get no simpler. Everybody
Right.
should have understand what you just said, and and if you was to go to the White House and present what you just said, I think they'll probably say you're right. Or you go to the Archbishop and tell the bishop, hey, I think this will fit us perfectly. And you explain that your terminology, the way that you just did, he will probably have that Arsenio moment and just say, you're right. You know what I'm saying? But the one thing that really gets me is all this can be set aside. All this can be just laid to rest. And you know what, guys? We won't even have to come up with the proof that we come up with if the Catholic Church just do one thing. Just announce, hey, yes, there is something out there. We've got records of it. It's in our vault, and we're willing to share all the technology, all the stuff that we have in that black vault. And this right here will eliminate so much of the problem. But will
Right.
they do that? No.
No, they like having something over everybody's head.
Yeah. I really don't think they would do it.
My
You know
ultimate
what?
day would have the knowledge to be able to read all these ancient texts and everything and have unprecedented access to the Vatican's archives.
Mm. And
I would love to be
that's
able
crazy.
to just educate myself.
Okay, now you are a Catholic. You believe in certain things in the Bible, but the mysterious person that should be in the Bible is not in the Bible. Okay, now Noah. We all Noah built the ark two by two, like the little ants. We all go marching in two by two, hurrah, hurrah, and that's what he did to put everybody into the ark before the great flood. Correct?
Right.
Okay,
Well, to a
but
degree.
to a degree, but a lot of people don't mention. There's not a lot of a mention about his grandfather.
Right.
His grandfather is the one that set all of this off. For some reason, he's not mentioned in the Bible, but he's mentioned in the book of Enoch.
Right.
How is that? And the book of Enoch is barely mentioned in the Bible. Why do you think that
Right.
is? What is the why do you think they're trying to hide something, Noah's grandfather, from being inside the Bible? He must have seen something. He seen something that or well, he saw something and he did something, and
Right.
I think that's why he's not, because if they put what he's seen and what he saw into the Bible, it'll blow the Bible away.
Absolutely. And just like with the Book of Enoch, there's so many uh, religious texts that the Catholic Church just would pick and choose what they wanted, what went with uh, their what they wanted to present and everything. Just like not too many years ago, out in Egypt, they found scrolls of what amounts to the Book of Judas, and from my understanding, what I've read about it and everything, what's been translated, is it paints Judas in a completely different light as to how the canonical Bible paints him. It paints him
Mm-hmm.
as Jesus' favorite. He knew that he needed to be sacrificed on the cross for the people's sins and everything, and asked Judas to turn him in because he knew that John, Luke, Mark, none of them would have been able to do it in their hearts and everything.
Mm.
But it just goes against that canon that they want to portray, and the Book
Yes.
of Mary Magdalene with the whole idea that the Holy Grail is a bloodline, and it
Mm.
goes against that stereotype that we know today of what the Bible is.
Right. Right.
When it's
Now that's crazy.
before.
Is it possible that everything is foretold on how our lives are lived, how our society is to be, and if we were to evolve to the next, then we need to follow down this path and that path to make sure we get where we need to be. The reason why I'm saying this because there is a saying that during the American Revolution, a spaceship came down and actually contacted George Washington, the founding father, not founding father, but first president of the United States. They foretold him on how this and this country was going to be. So all your hard work and dedication is not going to go for loss. So he knew at the time that he was fighting the British on what was going to happen almost 200 years from now or 250 years from now. Uh, do you think that if that scenario didn't happen, do you think this country would be the way that it is now? For say, I'm just saying that it supposedly it happened in the history, and some people said it actually happened like that. If it never happened, how do you think this country would be right now?
It's really hard to say. And I think it just comes back to the butterfly effect of one little change in history could have massive effects today. I mean, one lost battle that would have been suffered that he actually won may have prevented Hitler from being born.
Mm-hmm.
Or uh, if we won a battle that was lost, the British may have ended up winning overall. It's one of those may have lost the battle but won the war, but it's just so hard to say how this country and the world would be today with the minutest of changes if he put on his brown underwear instead of his white underwear one day. Something like
Mm.
that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Bill Carson. Have you listened to him on YouTube?
I don't. I haven't really before. I really don't get on YouTube a whole lot unless I'm specifically researching something and I find
Right. I
somebody
think, yeah,
myself.
I think you should listen to him and see what his take is because he brings a lot of interesting questions and answers. Now, as we were talking before, we know this planet is a lot older than what our history books are saying. Some people don't believe in the Big Bang Theory. Some people don't believe that that evolution never happened, creation never happened, but somehow, some way that we were formed in someone's liking. Now, with that being said, we are the models of a being that was here thousands of years ago. Those beings, I'm pretty sure you know who they are, was called the Anunnaki. Now, if the Anunnaki are the ones that brought all this together, uh, why do you think that really happened? Some people say that the Anunnaki needed slaves to build their cities, to do this, to do that. I don't know, exactly why they would create us, then turn around, and because we were supposed to be made in their liking. So therefore, we had everything that they had. We had the power that they had. We had our DNA was 29 chromosomes instead of 28, if I got those numbers right. I'm not sure. So we had that ability to do things that people just can't do today.
Right. Look
Telepathically,
at the
we're
pyramid.
able to, do strange things. But they decided, hey, we can't have these people. If we are the creators, we can't give these people the same things that we have because eventually they will evolve, they will rebel against us, and there's another problem. So they took
Right.
that other chromosome out and left us with what I think was just 28. Now, some of these people that have evolved to be psychic mediums, clairvoyants, the people that can bend the spoons and all that stuff, these guys supposedly have that half a chromosome of that 29 still left in them. So is it possible that the Anunnaki, do you think they did this for a reason, or do you think we were like a science project and things got out of control?
I th- One of my favorite theories on the Anunnaki ties back to Planet X and everything. But what it boils down to, and what I think makes the most logical sense, is like you said, humankind was created as a slave labor. Um, I think that just like we have elements and minerals that are hard to get here on Earth, they were running low on where they come from, which I believe would be Planet X. Um, and we were put here to mine resources, provide different resources that Earth was abundant with at the time. And that's the reason we have different cultural periods as to when Planet X would come back around to be able to pick up supplies and everything.
Interesting. Okay. Is it possible that is it possible? Do you think I mean, is it possible that they're still here and we just don't know it? The government might know it, but you got to realize, guys, some of the some of the tall. I mean, because we know the Anunnaki was like 10 feet tall. Today, there are people that are they're just now being discovered in other countries. There are eight, nine, even I mean, these people are really big.
Right.
And, and I'm like, dude, is it possible that I'm walking next to a Anunnaki and not even freaking know it?
Right. And
Because I
I
really don't
think
think they
that's a
left.
large part of where the stories in the Bible of the Nephilim come from, because the Nephilim were a giant race, and I believe that some of the Anunnaki that visited uh, may have fell in love with some of the humankind and interbreeded with us being such a close match to their DNA and everything. And that's where we get these races of giants. And there's no doubt in my mind that giants once walked the earth. Some still do. I mean, look at Shaq.
Yeah.
And but
Shaq?
with as many reports there are of giant skeletons being found and mysteriously vanishing out of museum back rooms and stuff like that, I think that there's some credence. And as far as the Anunnaki still walking with us, I think so. I think there's little glimmers of truth. Like I said, those small bites for disclosure and everything in all of our media today. And I think that it would be a lot like the Men in Black movies, where, uh, yeah, they're around, but only a select few know that they're around and know how to identify that they're around.
Okay.
They had camouflaging those aliens in Men in Black that so then walking down the street we wouldn't know it from you and me.
Right. But once they get in the house, you get the picture. Everything comes
Right.
off. Everything comes off.
Right.
Guys, change the subject a little bit. I mean, we talked about paranormal, uh, you know, ufology, a little bit of Bigfoot. Let's talk a little bit about urban legends because I think urban legend plays a big part in American history. I
Absolutely.
mean, there is an urban legend in every city, every town, in every parts of the world, whether they're factual or not, whether they're believable, because some of these things are unbelievable.
Right.
But this day and age, we can't put nothing past nothing. You know, uh, how successful are you guys investigating an urban legend claimed? And if so, have you guys either approved or disproved that these urban legends existed?
Oh, the one that pops to the forefront of my mind because it's the one that I think that you'll agree with me on as a paranormal investigator. We get asked about a lot, and that's Crybaby Bridge. And when somebody comes to me saying, "Hey, we got this bridge where I'm from, and this is the story and everything," I said, "Yeah, that's the classic Crybaby Bridge story." Unfortunately, with some of the urban legends, such as Crybaby Bridge, there's one in every town, it seems like. And it's so hard to dig through and sift through all the accounts of it and everything to find where it originates and to
Mm-hmm.
be able to get some verifiable evidence and everything. I tell people that, look, the waters that flow under it are so muddy, we'll never be able to figure it out.
Mm.
So, uh, in instances like that, unfortunately, I don't think it's something that we're going to be able to explain. Um, but some of the more
Localized.
localized urban legends and stuff, I believe that uh, there can be logical explanations, and one of the things that I take pride in the team,
Mm-hmm.
if when looking to debunk absolutely everything that we can right from the rip on any investigation that we do, so that at the end of the night or at the end of the investigation, because we all know that things that go bump in the night go bump in the day also.
Exactly.
Oh, we know what we're left with that we're questioning is good evidence because we've already explained away so much that we immediately could. And we look at those notes and a couple days later give it a fresh look and everything and try to come up with other ways that we didn't think of to debunk what we have. And uh, applying those same methods to the urban legends, to the cryptozoology, all that will get us further along as investigators, I believe, to
Mm.
be able to disprove.
Interesting. Okay, what do you think about some of the mainstream urban legends that are out there? I mean, these guys have lasted through the test of time. Uh, for example, the Jersey Devil. You know,
Uh,
people say that they've seen this thing, but all I've ever saw was a picture of what people think they saw, so they drew it. There's no actual
right,
video camera, an actual photo. I mean, so and then they
right,
had enough. Uh, they actually made the New Jersey NHL team. The New Jersey Devils. Uh, do you think that's even possible that something like that could exist in the Pine Barrens? That is.
I think so. Just because there's so many new species being discovered every day, be it aquatic species or I mean, look how long the giant squid was this nautical urban legend told by sailors and everything, and that's just been discovered and verified as true in our lifetimes. So I absolutely think that there could be something to instances like the Jersey Devil or something more local to us, the Lizard Man Escape or Swamp over in Bishopville, South Carolina. Oh,
There's so many places for stuff to hide away that I mean we can't explore everything all at once to rule out that it's not there.
Mm,
And just like with other legends, like people say the megalodon's still around, that it's not extinct. We know more about the surface of the moon than we do the deepest parts of the ocean. There's no way to
exactly.
prove that it's not still around.
Exactly. Uh, have have do you guys think that uh, 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 the GSA? Do you think they've mapped out every part of the Appalachian Mountains?
absolutely
Absolutely
not.
not.
No, because I
Absolutely.
mean, there's just like with the Amazon rainforest, there's places of such dense tree cover that the satellites can't see to the ground. Uh, we're getting closer to that point with technology like lidar and stuff like that, but we still don't know uh, everything that's out there, and that doesn't even come close to the cave systems
I
that
was
form
definitely about to say
naturally,
cave systems.
or even uh, what's prevalent in the Appalachian Mountains, coal mines and stuff like that. That
Hmm.
things have taken in,
But
and
it seems like the government selects what it wants to survey. Now,
right,
the Rocky Mountains is not as heavy forest. It's not as heavy secluded as it is the Appalachians. So I mean, they seem to know that part from where the Appalachian, I mean, from where the Rockies start, from the south and works its way up through Canada. But the Appalachians, that's a totally different ball game,
Well, I mean,
and
even out west, close to you, the Superstition Mountains down at the south end of the Rockies, out there in Arizona way and everything.
mm-hmm.
They're still looking for the lost Dutchman's mine. So we, when as far as having everything mapped out, if everything was mapped out, we'd know where everything was.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be anything that was lost out there. And
I've been seeing on several different platforms they're doing videos about the Rocky Mountain feral people,
yeah,
and they're just family, a big kind of like a hills have eyes kind of thing. That they're just inbreeding and they're living in the cave systems and stuff in the Rockies.
right.
And I mean, if everything was mapped, we would know for a fact whether or not these people were really here or if it's just another urban legend. And
Right.
there's no way to.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Even if they did find them, it goes back to the conversation that we had 30 minutes ago. Is the world ready for something like that? I mean, even though they live a simple lifestyle and they do by the simplest means, human beings cannot comprehend to what these people are doing. Even though it's primitive and it's the way that they choose to live, human beings would not understand that. Man might,
Right.
but humans would never. Oh, it's barbaric,
And
it's this, it's that. But a simple man was like, okay, dog, I feel you, man. You don't want no cell phone. You don't want this. You want to live off the land. Hey, I'm down. Hey, I'll do it too. You know what I'm
a
saying?
good
That's what that.
example of that I believe it's called North Sentinel Island out in the Pacific, that has that tribe of people that have been cut off from the world throughout history. That it's illegal to visit that island. That this tribe will attack and kill and eat anybody that
Boy,
visits that island.
hey, them brothers ain't playing no game over there. I'm telling you. You
Right.
go mess around with those brothers over there. You're gonna end up a slisk kebab. You're gonna end up on somebody's pole, and the pole's gonna go somewhere you don't want to go, and you're gonna be roasting. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be roasting.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you're gonna be looking up. Somebody gonna be eating your arm and your leg, and hey, they're gonna be making shoes out of your hair if you got hair on your head. Thank God I don't. But hey, it
If you
yeah,
lotion
it
on the
gets rough
skin,
over there. Yeah,
oh yeah.
man. So best thing to do, guys, is do not mess around over there in that island. It's
Right.
no joke. All right, guys. Hey, a couple more questions, and I'm gonna get you guys out of here, man. Very interesting conversation. But Amber, you've been too quiet, so I'm gonna pick on you. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. I am gonna pick on you for a minute. Now, with all the stuff that's going on with with UFOs and uh, seeing this, seeing that, with the technology that we have today and the video footage, because cameras got some of the best cameras on them. Phones have some of the best cameras. I've seen cameras with 4K, 3K, 8K. It really don't matter, but they are taking some of the best photographs of UFOs that different types: square, round, circle, elongated. Man, is it possible that all these people that are visiting us are from outside this world, or do you think most of this stuff are coming from places that has been produced here in the United States?
I think that it can definitely be a mixture of both. I think that We do have visitors from outside of this world, and we've actually talked about it on multiple occasions that there's a possibility that they're here helping advance our technology through secret, government experiments and stuff. Um, because we had such a jump from, when we landed on the moon. That was a great jump in technology from what it was just 50, 60 years beforehand.
Yeah, flight was
So
invented. Flight with the Wright brothers came along 50 years before landing on the moon.
right, and that's just a massive jump in technology for us to have done that on our own without any kind of outside help. I really think is just, it's kind of hard to believe that we didn't have any help from anybody outside, especially if they already have this advanced technology to have these kinds of aircrafts and stuff. I
Mm.
think that it's a strong possibility that they helped give us the plans to get us out and exploring, just like maybe that's what they're doing, is they're just simply out exploring the rest of the universe. I mean, if they're doing it, why shouldn't they help us do it?
Okay, now let's play devil's advocate with what you just said. Why would a superior race help a civilization that's 2,000, 3,000 years beneath them? And the one thing that I always was told is, and I'm pretty sure that you've told your younglings this, the young don't always do what they're told.
Right.
So therefore, if you're giving technology to a younger civilization and you tell them not to do it this way, that way, is it possible that what they, like I say, the young don't always do what they told? It can always come back and bite somebody in the butt.
Right.
I mean, that's a very real possibility too. That maybe if they were here helping us with our technology, maybe we did what we weren't supposed to do and went to the moon. We started exploring outside of our planet.
Mm.
There's so many things that if they were helping us, because the way I see it, the same way that we have to teach those that are younger than us, maybe they're trying to teach us. But just like you said, maybe we did do stuff we weren't supposed to do with that technology. With the kind of weapons that we've built, over the years, and the kind of aircrafts that we've built. There's so many different kinds of military aircrafts, and some that are top secret that we're not supposed to have any idea about. Doing things that we're not supposed to be doing with that technology. So, I mean, it's very real possibility that we've taken the gifts that they gave us with the knowledge of how some of this stuff works and ran the wrong way with it.
And a good example of that is, like Amber said, with like weapons technology. Look at all the instances of uh, nuclear silos and stuff getting turned off, and UFO sightings at those bases happening at the same time. And there's absolutely nothing that our military could do to get those weapons back online until the UFOs left and everything magically started working just as it should be.
Wow, yeah. But you know what? I hope one just lands right there and those things would never be cut back on again.
Right.
That would be so great. But let's
Right.
play devil's advocate again, guys. Now, you mentioned landing on the moon. Now, we all know that the Russians put Sputnik into space 2 years before we allegedly landed on the moon. Conspiracy theorists always say is we've never went to the moon. That was just a prop to get our people, you know, happy. I can't think of the word. Gets us motivated because of what the Russians did. So, do you think that's actually? Do you think the trip to the moon actually happened?
We've talked about that too, and one of the things that we've theorized is that yes, we have been to the moon, but that the original moon landing that was so broadcasted that everybody knows that that was fake. just to kind of give it like, oh, well, we are catching up with them. I think that we've been to the moon since then, but I don't know that that one was a real moon landing.
Why do you think we have not been back?
I
Uh,
think that there's something outside of the moon that told us not to come back.
Right.
yeah, because President Obama promised the American people his second term that I will send somebody back to the moon. But some dark shadow government agency said, hold up, for the safety of 30 billion people, let's not do that. At least not right now, because we
And
were
that
told once, but they're not gonna tell us again.
right.
Not the
And that circles back to the possibility of us running the wrong way with that technology and going somewhere we weren't supposed to be. Just like that. I mean, it's everybody's curiosity. When you're told not to do something, don't touch that, don't go there. That's the first thing you want to do. Is exactly
hmm
that. So if we were told that that's not what we're supposed to do with this technology, it's human nature to do exactly that.
Yes. One thing I do notice about humans, because I've done it, Bill, you've done it, Amber, you've done it. We've always poked the bear.
Hmm.
Always. There's no ifs and buts about it. Everybody on this planet has poked the bear just to see how that bear would react. And I know the government has done it. And now, have we noticed the fallout? Remains to be seen. But I'm pretty sure 20, 30, 40 years ago, after we're all gone and our grandchildren are the elders, I'm pretty sure they're going to feel the poking of that bear because, trust me, something's going to happen. But with that said, guys, one last question. I'm going to get you guys out of here, and it's a hard one. So, are you guys ready for this? Amber, I'm going to pick on you again. Uh,
Okay.
uh, Do you have a paranormal bucket list? If so, where would you like to go and why would you like to go there?
One of my number one places that I'd love to go is Waverly Hills Sanatorium. My brother went several years ago when he was on a previous team. There's 10 years between us, so I wasn't even almost old enough to be able to attend that. Um,
Okay.
so I've seen just him coming back and telling me his stories and showing me his evidence. I guess is a little bit of that thrill seeking myself is wanting to go experience something like that. I'm pretty new to the actual getting out and investigating the paranormal. I've done my own research and stuff on things, but
hmm
actually getting to go out and investigate. I joined the team right around COVID, but COVID set us back so much. You know, people didn't want strange groups of people coming in their houses to investigate stuff. You know, they didn't want us coming out and investigating. Whatever buildings might be. And so we're really just now getting the ball rolling again for our investigations for me to get that kind of experience.
Getting good traction, and
A big part of that is thanks to we do ghost tours here in Augusta with Augusta Adventure Tours. And
hmm
so people are getting the word out, with our tours, being able to come out and meet us as a team, be able to meet, people local to them that's not just what you see on TV. They get to come out and have hands-on time with some of our equipment and stuff and learn why we use what we use, what it's used for,
some
stuff
of the
like that.
history of paranormal investigations.
Right.
hmm
We
So,
label our tour as a Ghost Hunting 101 tour just because it's that basic introductory uh, level information that we're putting out there to hopefully kind of provide some guidance for these people that do want to go out and do
right.
investigations and
Right,
uh,
right.
give ways to be safe and to not ruin sites for other investigators.
Right, not to go in and do damage to some of these, especially these historic places. um, just being careless with their investigations. But definitely, to answer your question, Waverly Hills, I would absolutely love to go to. For one,
Oh,
I've researched a lot of the history of it, and it fascinates me the way that they treated tuberculosis and stuff. They just put people by the windows and hoped that the cold air helped them, helped cure them, and so many different medical tactics. Because I work in the medical field, and so does he. Um, just to see how far we've come from it in that aspect as well. I'd love to be able to visit it.
okay, cool. Any other place that you'd like to go? I mean, you got the whole world to at your disposal. I mean,
Um,
and to let and I mean, and to let you know, don't worry about any expenses because Bill's going to pay for it all.
oh well, see, I absolutely love that. We'd also I'd also like to really get into some of the old castles and stuff over in Ireland. We're both of Irish descent, and my maiden name is Darty, and which is derivative of the Irish surname O'Doherty. And there's O'Doherty castles over in Ireland. I'd love to be able to visit those and
Mm,
see what kind of activity that we can get located there.
For
okay.
me, internationally, I would love to visit Sedlik Ossuary in Prague. It's also known as the Bone Chapel, and I believe the numbers are between around 30,000 uh, people's remains are used to decorate this church. Like there's big chandeliers made out of human
Bones.
bones, and
All of the walls have got like skulls plastered to them as like a backdrop, and it's all human remains.
Wow. Interesting. Interesting. All right. Well, guys, man, it's an hour and 28 minutes. The conversation has been unbelievable. Uh, tell the world how to get a hold of you guys. If they're ever in Augusta, Georgia, they want to come hang out, do the ghost tour. Hey, just lay it all on the line on how to get a hold of you.
the best way to get a hold of us is through our Facebook page. If you're wanting to come on to one of our tours, uh, look up the Augusta Adventures and Tours Facebook page. And if you're in the area, we don't mind traveling some and need an investigation. You can definitely pull my phone number off of the Facebook page to be able to get in contact with me and set up an investigation.
That is awesome, guys. You know what? It's been an honor and a pleasure to speaking with you guys. It Georgia never fails me because I have some of the best conversations. I have some of the best guests ever. I mean, from you guys to Savannah, Georgia. I mean, to Savannah Paranormal, to man, so many other paranormal investigators that has come on the show. I've always had a great time speaking with you guys, and hey, and you guys did not fail. I really appreciate you guys. Coming on out of your busy Saturday, chatting with me, and having a good time. Uh, a lot of stuff was discussed, and hopefully, I can get you guys back on the show with the other. Hold on, let me see here. With the other one, two, three, four, with the other five paranormal teams. Wait a minute, one, two, three, four, five. Whoa, with the other three guys. Oh, yeah, that are with you guys. Because I'm looking at your page right now.
Yeah, there's four
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
people.
other yeah, the other four of you guys that but the one that's striking me that stands out the most is the guy in the middle that's holding the lantern with the what is that in his mouth? I think that's a
that's
pipe.
a microphone. Yes, that's
So that's
Michael.
a microphone. Oh, I
Yeah,
thought it was a pipe because he has the
He's got a headset on.
yeah, that's Michael.
He runs the Augusta Adventure Tours, and he's partnered with us to be able to do the Ghost Hunting 101 tour. And we've done
oh
a couple
wow.
of features and stuff.
and
Okay.
we do
Well,
count Michael as a part of the team as well. So
Well, you tell those
Uh,
guys, man. I really would like to get them on the show,
Absolutely.
and
We
hopefully
thoroughly
we can.
enjoyed it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would love to get. I mean, because more the merrier, man. Because when I see you guys and I speak with you guys, I always, I mean, facial expressions tells me a lot. So when I get a chance to speak with somebody, I get a chance to see, a little facial experience, and I'm curious to know what this team actually, what they think about from their own perspective of, what they've been through and what they've seen and all that stuff. Because I do know everybody's experience is different, no matter what. You can say that we say the same thing, but I mean, your mind might process something totally different. You can see it, but your mind might like, oh, okay, because I've always liked it that. So, but with enough
Right.
said, guys, I really appreciated you coming on the show again. Hey, for all you guys that are listening, all you guys that are on the platforms, hey man, they're at 1.4K likes, 1.5K followers. Hey man, feel free to jump over there on Facebook and get their numbers up. You guys also have a Instagram page, correct?
Yes. Yeah, it's nowhere
Okay.
near as active as the Facebook page.
Okay,
Um,
well, no problem. Let's see if we can zoom over there, guys. All my guys on that are on Instagram, hey, run over there, man, and get those numbers up for me. I would really appreciate it, and I know the team would appreciate it. So
Absolutely.
absolutely.
every little number help. But with enough said, hey, I'm gonna get these guys out of here. Billy, Amber, and the little one that was on the podcast show. Hey, I wish you guys a lot of success, and I wish you guys the well. If I don't hear from you guys by the holidays, you guys have a safe holiday. I normally would contact you after 2 months to see how you guys are doing. So I will be trying to contact you guys maybe in January to see if we can do this again. You
Absolutely.
know.
Absolutely.
So hey, I
And
hope
we
you enjoyed
will,
the show. And I hope like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. As you can notice, I didn't say anything about any of the locations that you guys been to or any of the devices that you guys investigate with because in all reality, that's kind of pushed to the side. People want to know a lot about what you guys are about. I mean, we all know that we've got K2 meters and all that stuff, but when somebody come on the podcast show, they want to know about you guys, and that's why I do this because
Right.
people are curious. People are really curious. That's what we are. We're curious creatures.
right.
That's why we always get into trouble because that's what we are. We're curious. But with enough said, hey, appreciate you coming on the show. I am going to create some reels out of this. Feel free to take the reels and do what you wish. Take the podcast, do what you wish. And until the next time in January, I'll see you guys then. Peace.
Thank you very much for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Yes. Hey, you guys enjoy your rest of your weekend.
You
You
too.
too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.